Okay, we are all set.
Okay, good. That way we can do a recording if we want to. All right. Welcome, everyone, to another Jeff Herring webinar. This is Jeff, your host, and we're broadcasting live from our virtual studios 40 miles north of Atlanta in the foothills of the North Georgia mountains. And our topic tonight is all about stealth persuasion, using your words, your content, to get the visitors to your blog to join you, to buy from you. And we have as a special guest my friend and colleague Colin Martin. Now, I was saying this to my content marketing cash machine group earlier today, that I'm very, very careful about who I put in front of you. And most of the people that ask don't get in front of you. Colin always has and always will. Colin and I met through my first mentor, my online mentor, Tom Antheon, because Colin was working for Tom at that time. And, Tom is great, and so I knew somebody that had to work with him would be too. And so now Colin is out on his own. He's done so well. And he and I have traded several webinars and are continuing to do so. And the coolest thing we have in common is we both love hiking in the mountains, which, it's a good judge of character as far as I'm concerned. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Colin and take it away, bud.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that very sincere introduction. And this is the Stealth Persuasion, Capturing the Emotions of Your Website Visitors with Jeff Herring and myself, Colin Martin. And of course, I want to thank everybody tonight for their time, for being here, because I know we could have been out there doing something fun, but the time that you invest in this webinar, you're really going to learn some cool stuff about turning people, your visitors to your website, into fanatic customers. And trust me on that, it's going to work. So I want to thank you for the time, because it means that you're serious about your business. And I wouldn't waste your time by giving you a bunch of fluff or things that you can't use. You'll be able to use this information starting tomorrow morning when you get up in your office and start looking at the way your website is written and how you're approaching your visitors. So this is the Stealth Persuasion. And speaking of stealth persuasion, what is persuasion content? I mean, we know what being persuasive is, but persuasion content falls into these four categories. It's emotional words, ones that pull on the heartstrings of your visitors; customer-focused words, talking more about them than yourself, just like going out on a date with a young lady. Every time I talk about myself too much, that date never turns into a second one. So we want to watch that on our website content as well. Also, telling your unique story. Each one of us, when we're trying to rise above our competition out there, our unique story is what sets us apart from our competition. So everything that we've learned, everything that we've done, everything that makes us who we are should come out into your content. And also the benefits are very, very persuasive. What benefits are you pushing? And I'm going to talk tonight about what kind of benefits you should be associating with your reader, and it may not be the ones that you think. All right, look at this giant number, 660 million odd numbers. I mean, that's a big number. That's how many active websites. In fact, that number's from last year. So it's probably gotten even more than that. It's probably up 800 or 900 million active websites. Okay, that should scare the heck out of you, but it doesn't. And it doesn't scare Jeff and myself and other people that we know, because there's a way to rise above that competition. The good news about this, if there's any at all, that 99% of these sites, if not more than that, have content that is dull, it's boring, it's pushy, and it's too salesy. The other 1% touch the hearts and minds of the visitors, understands exactly why they're there and how we can help. Those websites tell compelling stories using content that relates to 3 key things that I'm going to talk about tonight that matter most to your visitor. And these sites also, they make money and they change lives, which I think is the more important thing here. We all talk about on these webinars about making money, but I'm going to emphasize a little bit more tonight on how to change lives with what we do, which is, I think, really the big picture of why we're here. All right, let's go over some common misconceptions. We're going to get right to it here. Common misconception about writing content is to overload your visitors with information. Okay, my friends, I want to, if you take away anything tonight from this webinar, and you're going to take away a lot, this is the most important thing I could say to you, and I'm going to say it early. Your visitors are not looking for more information. Anyone searching for help out there is not looking for information. They are looking for solutions. Are you offering solutions in your content, or are you just putting out more information for them to get lost in possibly, or have to over-digest? Another misconception is your writing should be perfect, like some kind of PhD or dissertation or some brochure. Really, writing your own voice makes a personal connection and emotional connection to your visitor. So writing too perfect, a lot of people can see through that, and sometimes it really misses the emotional mark. Also, writing in third person. We see these websites, we love to write about ourselves in third person. John Smith is a PhD, and he earned all this money and is helping all these people, like someone's narrating it for him. If you use I did this and I did that and I learned these things and now I can help you too, that writing in first person is something that creates an emotional connection and a personal connection with your reader. Also, telling the visitor what to do. This kind of breeds into call to action or being too pushy or not trusting that your customer knows what to do if they're given the proper solution information. What I like to do is prompt my reader with questions that they have to answer in an affirmative, and have them and lead them to the next conversion or next thing that you want them to do on your website, instead of telling them blatantly do this and do that. Going back to dating, if you tell people what to do all the time, it starts to wear them thin. Okay, and even on opt-in buttons, they'll use the word submit. The last time I used submit on my girlfriend, it really went over bad. Okay, so I try to make it more. I try to trust them that they're going to do the right thing.
We were talking about that earlier today with one of my groups. That's funny.
It's so simple that if you
most of the buttons say submit, right?
They do, it's submit, and and I thought, well, that sounds appropriate, but it didn't really work last time I used it on my girlfriend. So you have to trust people's kind of stuff. All right, well, Jeff gave me a really sincere introduction, and I loved it. But who am I really? A lot of you there don't know me, or some of you do. The ones that don't worry. You're going to be lucky now, because I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm Colin Martin, and you can see I'm that strapping young lad there. Not quite as strapping and young as Jeff, but there I am standing next to my beautiful Jaguar. And of course, I worked for Tom Antion for 6 years as his right-hand man and marketing manager, helping thousands upon thousands of Tom Antion's mentees in a personal relationship. So I learned all this from Tom, and it was a fantastic experience. And you can see I was the former marketing manager for Tom, and I was for Virginia Plus. I'm also the former head instructor at the Internet Marketing Training Center of Virginia. Tom's very unique internet marketing school, the head instructor, which means I'm completely unqualified to talk to you tonight. Just kidding. And okay, why was I the former? Why was I the former? Because not because Tom fired me, not because I woke up in a ditch drunk or anything like that, or embarrassed him to death. I took a dream trip of a lifetime. I took off for 10 weeks and went into the deep wilderness of western North Carolina and northern Georgia, very close to where Jeff is broadcasting from tonight. And I went on a spiritual quest, and I learned to find myself. I learned what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to know what the next 10 years was going to bring me. I spent time dieting, curing my diabetes, losing weight, and staying in deep states of meditation. And you can see these pictures here. They're really beautiful waterfalls. It was just a great scene. You can see that little pup tent up in the top left corner there is what I stayed in for 10 weeks. Roughed it completely, but there was one thing I really went there for: spiritual quest, all that. But the main thing I went for was, of course, gemstones. A treasure of emeralds, rubies, and aquamarine. You can see the aquamarine I'm holding in my hand. Big, huge, beautiful pieces. I love it. The rubies up at the top, emeralds. The emerald up in the top left corner is probably worth thousands of dollars. Chiseled that out myself. But that's what I did. And I just loved doing the hiking and the gemstones. But while I was there, I realized that I had spent 10 weeks in the wilderness, and I was still making money. and I wasn't even connected to the internet or a phone or anything. Well, how did I make money, and what did I really learn to do to make a dream like that come true and to keep making the money rolling in? Well, it was about my copywriting. I'm a master sales letter copywriter. Plus, I do a lot of writing for websites and opt-in forms, and we write for everything out there. And what I learned from Tom and from Jeff and from everyone else that I studied very intently under has given me the ability to reach the heart of my visitor and sell them anything that I want to help them better their lives. In the news real quick, one client, I have my own coaching program, one client I work with won best website in California for the Auctioneer Society. Plus I was just last Tuesday on the self-publishingconference.com, one of the speakers with John Kramer and Mike Stewart and Daniel Hall and a bunch of big names out there. I don't know where Jeff was, but anyway, I took over and I made a good statement for Jeff anyway. But that was great, and that was just last Tuesday. All right, let me tell you what you're going to expect from this webinar so we can get right into it. My promise to you is I'm going to show you the words that push the emotional triggers. You're going to learn them, and it's going to be very easy. What benefits do your visitors care about the most? How to eliminate sales resistance. I have a certain formula, and I'm going to show it to you tonight, that eliminates resistance immediately so we don't spend the entire content of our website or our sales letters breaking down the resistance, because most people naturally have one going into a sales letter or a website. And of course, we have a popular Q&A at the end with Jeff and I that you're going to love, which is almost worth the entire cost of this webinar, which was absolutely free. So what a deal. What can you expect from this webinar? I have 3 secret formulas, and they're very easy, and you're going to write them down, and you're going to be able to implement these literally tonight or tomorrow morning. One is the super awesome benefits identifier formula. I know it's a long one, but I'm going to show you tonight exactly how you can identify what benefits people really, what matters to the most, and they may not be what you think. I'm also going to show you the wee calculation formula that has nothing to do with going to the bathroom or anything, so don't worry. But it's going to show you how to identify whether you're talking about yourself too much. You're going to love it. It's totally free. Totally free, okay? And also the love conflict secret formula, something that I came up with while I was out there deep in the woods. And it really works, and we've tested it and tested it and tested it, and all of us here are going to participate in it tonight. So I can't wait to get to that as well. Plus, if you see the little smiling face, that picture of me, recent picture of me taken at the photo booth at the mall, that's me right there. That means it's a super stealthy trick when you see the smiling face, and be sure at that moment to take a note, write it down in blood, ink, pencil, whatever it is that you have on hand, and make sure that you pay attention to that secret trick. All right, I was told that the number 1 fear is the fear of public speaking. Number 2 is the fear of death, which means most people would rather be in the coffin than actually reading the eulogy. But number 3 is writing, putting your heart out there. Writing from the heart, exposing all your emotions and thoughts and philosophies, and then having thousands of people read them and judge them. Yes, it can be creepy, but trust me, this is going to be very easy. So when we talk about writing content and when we talk about writing emotional content, don't worry, it's going to be so easy. I'll hold your hand and I'll show you 3 simple formulas you can use tonight to get this away. But first, I want to offer a free gift. Well, that girl looks really excited. It looks like that was my girlfriend's reaction when I gave her a present, because I rarely ever give her one. So I'm going to give away a free gift tonight. What I want to give away as we get started, and to reward you for being here on time and being a part of this webinar and learning this great stuff, I'm going to give away what's called my autoresponder creation series, where you get to, I show you 10 templates to write an autoresponder series that drives people back in droves and back into the hands of your products and services. It's a $50 value. I'm going to give it away to somebody tonight. It's a bunch of streaming videos that teach you how to write killer autoresponders. So if anybody wants that, go ahead and put a heck yes in the chat box. It's okay to beg for this if you want. Well, I'm going to give it away. So anybody out there wants it, Marlene says heck yes. She's first. Miguel, Laura, Bela, Roger, Eric, Donald. Whoa, everybody's coming in here. All right, I'm going to pick somebody here. I'm going to pick, oh, yes, please, Heidi.
I love it when the screen scrolls.
Wow. All right, Heidi, I'm going to get you because you asked really nice. And yes, yes, absolutely. Oh, a crave it. Okay, Joy. I like that word crave. See, you're working on the content, emotional content already, Joy. You're getting to me. So both of you, Heidi and Joy, are going to get the free gift. Now, if you didn't win, don't cry because I'm going to give you another. There's going to be a couple more going out right before the Q&A, so stick around, and we'll get that prize out to you. All right, I'm going to talk about, Heidi says, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being here. Why is emotional content important? First off, it builds rapport, trust, and credibility, which are three of the hardest things to do if you're not meeting someone in person. If you're not shaking their hand, and you're just relying on your website to do all the work for you of making a first impression and to build your trust and credibility, that can be very hard to do. So emotional content will bridge that, what we call credibility gap. It's very important. It also brings visitors back. If they like what they read, they know that you understand their plight and they're getting real world solutions to problems, they're going to keep coming back. Think of how many blogs we subscribe to because we relate to the way people write. It also decreases bounce rate. Bounce rate is a fancy word for how long someone sticks on a website before they leave. Okay, Google Analytics invented that word, but the longer someone sticks on your site and keeps reading, the higher search positioning you're going to get. And the only reason people would stay on your site longer is if the content is compelling and it's relating to them. And if they get into a story and they stay on there, it's going to reward you with high search positioning. Also, emotional content tear down the walls of resistance, which according to the National Retail Federation, 98% of people have every time they approach a sales letter, ad, or website. They're already thinking they're going to be sold to, and they already have a wall of resistance. I'm going to show you how to break those down. The new rules of search, and Jeff and I and Tom and everyone have started talking about this kind of stuff. It's Panda and it's Penguin and all these kinds of things. But the new rules of search, now we've used keywords to get the search engine to find our site. Proper keyword research is how we get found by the search engines. And then we're able to get good search positioning using keywords. But how do we stay in the search results year after year after year? Well, Google is going to start, they've begun to ban low content websites. So lucky for you, websites full of junk that are just written by God knows who and don't really say anything, they're just what we call low content or uninformative, are going to start to become banned or moved lower into the search positionings. Also, content that people share and can go viral. And it's also, Google's going to reward content that people share. Plus, what kind of experience does a visitor have? Do they like the site? Are they sharing it? Are they commenting? Are they going through the pages? Google can tell all this stuff. How do they know that? Well, Google's a little bit like Santa Claus, and they're kind of sneaky. And it's hard to beat the algorithms and everything, but they do know these four things. And it's very easy now, if you think about it, how they do know it. First off, Google knows how many return visits you get from a certain computer or IP address. So if people are coming back to the website, Google knows that. How do people come back to the website? Compelling content. They know if you're commenting and leaving comments, especially if you're using Google Plus apps and things on there for people to comment and to share. And speaking of sharing, with Google Plus and other sharing mechanisms, Google can tell if people are sharing it on Facebook and on Google Plus and on LinkedIn. They also can tell, Google can tell how long someone stays on your website. It's all part of the analytics program in Google. So these are the things that Google's going to look at, and it's going to reward us with higher search positioning so that we just can't game the system anymore with keyword stuffing or keyword research or anything like that. That works to a certain point. But after a while, if nobody likes the content, no one's going to be rewarded with high search positioning. What is persuasive content? It's literally this, my friends. It's understanding your prospect. It's knowing your reader. It's knowing your target market. It's understanding why they're there. They have searched for something, found your site, and through your content, you're going to be able to relate to them and understand exactly why they're there. You're going to understand their pain. You're going to understand what their plight, and you're going to be able to empathize with that, and you're going to offer solutions. It's very simple. This is a very simple funnel here. Your content is going to revolve around what people search for, why they're searching, what is their problem that you can help them with, and then offer solutions, not just more information. The first way we want to do this is to avoid jargon that may put up a wall between you and your visitor, and you want to concentrate on writing in your own voice. We all don't talk like brochures when we're out at bars with our friends. Our friends are our friends because they know we're sincere, and we can sit and we can talk about things on a level that family and friends talk about, and the more that you do that, the closer you'll become with your website visitors. So I was actually sent this little copy here by a client that said, can you fix it up for me? And I looked at it and it says, our weight loss system has helped thousands of women just like you to lead healthier and happier lives. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually pretty good. It's your very kind of typical, regular sales copy. I thought to myself, what if we just talked like we were talking to a friend, or we talked about someone's experience that they had and pinpointed or told a little story? So I tweaked it like this. Butterflies of excitement ran through Lisa's body when she stepped on the scale this morning. Our product had really worked. When's the last time you felt that way? Now what I did here is two things I want to show you. First off, I didn't talk about thousands of women just like you, because we want to relate to our website visitor as an individual, that their problem matters, that they're not grouped into thousands and thousands of other people. So I used a fictional character called Lisa to create a story about one person and her experience. The reader will read that and will imagine them having the same experience as well. And I also asked a question at the end. I said, when's the last time you felt that way? Now they have to answer yes or no, and that leads them to want to read more. So I'm not just stopping it with healthier and happier lives. I'm asking a question that helps engage the reader to have a more personal experience. And when I sent this back to my client, they had a 22% increase in sales, and I was really proud of that, and I knew I was on to something here. The next thing that we want to talk about is, it's called process. And you don't want to over-speak or over-write about how things work, because it starts to tire people out. What people really want is, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? What kind of benefits does this have? Don't explain exactly, how everything works like I'm some kind of scientist. We do that a lot, and many of us, even on this webinar tonight, do this. Why? Because we're intelligent. A lot of us have PhDs. We're very educated, and over-explaining everything is our comfort zone. And trying to relate to the benefits of why someone is there is kind of stepping outside our comfort zone. But tonight it'll be easier for you to relate to your visitors there without killing them with too much jargon or process. So I did have another client sent me this little piece, an ad for, it was a carpet cleaner here in town, and it said, our new technology will clean your carpets with more power and reliability. Super Clean does the job that others can't. Well, that's another decent ad. I mean, I guess it's you see it all the time everywhere. And I started thinking, well, is really just power and reliability, is that what really matters to my visitor? Do they really care how much this vacuum sucks? I mean, it's going to vacuum all my furniture up and just rip my whole house apart. I mean, do I really want to know that? What are the benefits that I really care about in terms of carpet cleaning? And I rewrote it as this: fresh, clean carpets for your children to play on and more time to spend with them. Yes, Super Clean can do all of that. Now, I took two benefits that I know are important to people that aren't power and reliability, and I talk about family and time. So when I rewrote this with children and family involved, and the time that you would save by having a carpet cleaner come in and do it, and sent this back to my client, there was a 32% increase in new customers. I was really proud of that too, believe it or not. Also, you want to avoid hype. And this is the big one we see all the time out there, my friends, and all sorts of ads and all sorts of websites. And you want to focus on comfort. You want to focus on those things that people don't talk about that much. Everyone talks about making more money. Everybody talks about wanting to have more power and have more prestige, and like a beer commercial, have all the pretty girls and the fancy cars. But what is it that really matters? So another client, bless their heart, sent me this piece of copy here that said, make $21,000 a day with this proven system of internet affiliate websites. 130,000 customers can't be wrong. And I was thinking, wow, that sounds a bit unbelievable. I'm already putting up a wall of resistance. I don't really want to be part of 130,000 of anything. Talk to me. What do I want to hear? What really matters about making money online? What really matters about making money with an affiliate website? And I rewrote it as this. Bob no longer worries about being fired. The lifestyle he's created with our affiliate income websites has given him freedom and peace of mind. Okay. The elements I used here were, I took a pain-inflicting sentence, no longer worries about being fired. That's very common with us out here, especially people that are looking to make money online. We're not professional marketers. We're usually regular people trying to supplement income or try to save ourselves from being fired. And what are we going to do next? And then I talked about freedom and peace of mind. That's what money really does. It's not being a part of a giant army of powerful people. To me, it's about feeling comfortable. And it's about the freedom to work when I want, which I do, and to feel comfortable sitting in my living room like I am right now, doing a webinar with a good friend of mine and all you friends of mine out there, and not have to worry about my bills. Those are the kinds of things that really matter to me. So I rewrote that, sent that back to my customer. And amazingly, again, I'm proud, get a 44% increase in the click-through rates for that ad. That was actually a Facebook ad and a PPC ad. What are the real benefits? I've been talking about benefits such as freedom, peace, time, and family. Well, I hit on a few of them, and here they are, the three biggest ones. And they're not what you think, which are money, power, and convenience. The three big ones are time, family, and freedom. And the other ones that go along in that are peace, dreams, comfort, ego, prestige. Prestige is building a little bit on power and money, but it's a deeper emotion where people don't talk about who they aspire to be a lot of the time. That's something that only they talk about with their closest friends. So when you understand the real benefits of time, family, and freedom, you can start to actually create a template to help guide you to rewrite the copy that you have, or to write it from scratch with these things involved. So typically, when I start to write a piece of copy, I take just 2 or 3 of these, or it can just be one, really, and I write it on a piece of paper and I stick it next to me while I'm writing on my computer, and I make sure that every few words I try to insert something that has that benefit in it. Let me show you an example of what I mean. So I wrote this piece of copy here for somebody. Actually, this was copy that someone sent me, another client. And whenever I look over to rewrite a client's piece of copy, I take my benefits that I just showed you, my identifier formula, and I take 2 or 3 of those, doesn't matter which ones, and I write them up there, and I have them with me so that they're there to prompt me when I rewrite. So the client's copy said this: we've been pleased with how popular the juice has been that we got back into the kitchen and have made some delicious juice blends, which we think everyone will enjoy just as much. That's really great. Actually, I think that's fantastic, because the thing about it being handmade, getting back in the kitchen, they use the word delicious, and it was a good piece of copy. So I figured it would be a challenge to me to rewrite it. So I took my identifiers here, my benefit identifiers, and I took freedom, peace, and comfort. Just thought, well, let me try those 3. And I inserted and changed just a couple words based on those, and I wrote this: you can choose from our delicious apple and raspberry recipe, or totally tasty tropical, depending on whether you need to be transported to a serene country orchard or a desert island. So I rewrote this trying to find the benefits that make people feel good. And I love the choose. Freedom is a huge benefit that we neglect to put in our copy. And it's probably one of the most powerful that you can have in your copy, because freedom is something we can't buy. It has to be earned. And it's something that no matter how much we spend on anything that makes money or anything that is supposed to help our lives, the freedom is something that is so cherished. There's nothing we can do about it. It's almost out of our control. So when you use it as an emotional catchword, it helps people relate and bring them and give them a sense of relief that you're giving them a choice, because very few people let them do that. They have no choice at home. They have no choice at work. So give them the choice in your copy. And then I talked about peace by using the word serene. Use a thesaurus if you have to, but keep these benefits in mind as you write. And then comfort. And I talked about an orchard or a desert island, two awesome places that the dentist always tells me to visualize while he's pulling teeth. He says, oh, think of a place that makes you happy. Well, why does he do that? Well, it takes the fear out of it. Think about doing that in your copy as well. Write copy that takes your visitor and lets them go off to another place where they feel good, and their wall of resistance will come down. Now, I did one more thing here, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's probably the most important part of how I rewrote this copy, and it makes a huge psychological difference. It probably is working on you right now, and you don't even know it. I guess I have to reveal that, Jeff, so let me show you what I did.
Go for it. Here comes the big reveal.
Look at the bold here. I took the word we and turned them into you. Mm-hmm. So in the first piece, they were talking about themselves. We did this, we did that. When I rewrote the copy, I said, you can do this, and you can do that. So what I call this is customer-focused words. It's inward marketing versus outward marketing. Inward marketing is talking about yourself too much, using we, our, and I in your copy too much. And this is age old if you've ever gone to salesman school or gone to business school. There was one class I took that every time I said the word we, our, I, some guy rang a bell, ding, 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 to alert me that I had used a word. And I thought, website copy is a lot like this. Ad copy is a lot like this. Now, and when you use the word you and yours, it reaches outward to the marketing and brings people into your website and into your products and services and into your trust and credibility. Now, there's a free tool here, and I love this. First off, before I show you the free tool, I just want to say there's a reason why we talk about ourselves too much, and it's not because we're egotistical, and it's not because we're doing something wrong. It's because we're proud of our products, we're proud of our businesses, we're proud of our websites. We spend a lot of money and a lot of time building them. So we have a tendency to talk about ourselves a little bit too much. That's okay, as long as you can make a change. And I know you can, because I'm giving you this free tool here called the Wee Generator. Now, typically, and you can see the smiley face there if you want to write this down. Don't go to this website right now. You can go to it after the Q&A tonight, okay? But you want to talk about your customers 2 times as often as you talk about yourself. Well, how in the world am I supposed to figure that out? Am I supposed to count how many times I said we or our or I or all this? No, I have a free online tool, and you're going to love this. This is over at futurenowinc.com/wee.htm. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to it right now. I'm going to show you what it is. Look at this. This is the calculator. And you can hear that over on wee.htm, there is a little link here that says run the customer calculator on any extra ad copy. So we can click that. And while that's thinking, I'm going to get a piece of copy here, and I'm going to test it out. Is this thinking? Yeah, it's thinking. And what I have here is a piece of email. In fact, this is the email that I sent everyone, that Jeff sent everyone today. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to, and you can do this with anything you do with the website. You can do it with anything, a sales letter, an entire amount of copy, email promotions, anything that you want that will work on this. Oops. Let me hold on here. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna open this up. Oh, I'll tell you what. Since I already know mine does, I'm gonna do one of Jeff's. This is. Now, I didn't tell Jeff he was going to do this tonight. I'm going to test a blog post from Jeff. Okay, and he's going to kill me if this doesn't work out right. So I'm going to copy this now. I copied this off of one of Jeff's blog. Jeff, you can see it's one of yours. One of your blog posts about video marketing. Now, what I did was I just copied the. You can copy it right off a web page, and I'm going to go right into this. Here's what it goes to, and you just copy the paste, or you just paste it right in here. Here's a copy from his web. Okay, I'm going to test it. Fingers crossed. Whoa, very good, Jeff. You passed the test. Your customer focus rate was 70%. Customer focus words to 20. I'm telling you, 29% talking about yourself. So that's 2 times, everyone. 2 times. Excellent. You see that? Now I'm going to go over real quick and get that piece of copy that I did, email blast. Don't mind that picture. And this is the email blast I sent out today that Jeff did. And we're going to go back, and you can just back in. It's very simple. You can paste anything in here.
Cool.
I love this. And I'm going to paste this in. Now, this is my email copy. Now, email copy is very persuasive in terms of selling stuff and getting people to sign up for webinars like tonight. So we're going to do 93% customer-focused words.
Dude, look at you rocking it.
6% self-focused
15
words.
times as often.
Exactly. So I talked about all of you out there when you read this email. I talked about what was important to you 15 times as often as I talked about my services. Now, listen, I could have touted how great this webinar was, how great I write, all this great stuff that I do, and trust me, I believe that, okay? So it's not hard to talk about myself, but I knew that talking about you 15 times as often would be a way to make a higher conversion, and this is how you can test this. So after the webinar is over tonight, you can have fun with this over at futurenowinc.com/wee-wee.htm, and we'll show that, and you can go over and have fun with that. That's a fantastic experience. So you want to use a wee-wee calculator. All right, this is important. I want to talk about 2 powerful elements, and this is what I came up with out on my deep wilderness trek, literally spending hours in meditation out there. Okay. In most creative writing, such as novels and things like this, there's what we call like a crescendo, or it starts out one way, reaches a kind of a pinnacle, and then comes down. And what we're talking about is the beginning, middle, and end, the love, the conflict, and the resolution. So, for instance, love. Little Julie was beautiful, was well liked by her teachers, went to school, made straight A's, went home, had a nice little boyfriend, and had the teddy bear collection. Everybody loves Julie. All of a sudden, one day she was walking home from school, and then a van pulled up, and these guys jumped out, and they grabbed her, and they bound her, put a bag over her head, and threw her in the van and took off. The resolution is that Dad found out about it, traveled all the way over to Europe, kicked the bad guys' butts, rescued his daughter, and brought her back home. Now, that was just the script to Taken with Liam Neeson, basically. And it's the old-fashioned creative writing storytelling that follows every basic tenet of build up a love situation, have a horrible conflict, and then a resolution. Perfect story. In ads, we do the same thing. And most ads have what is called love, a conflict, and a call to action. So the love would be, you just bought this house, it's your great investment, you finally got that loan taken care of, and you've put it all the furniture in there, and you just love this place, you're falling in love with it. back on the Wednesday, following Wednesday after you closed, there was a fire. Somebody left something plugged in, and the house, generally everything in it was destroyed or damaged. The call to action: call ServPro to come out and fix everything and make it right so you're all better. Now, that's a typical ad where they show a family having some kind of love situation, showing a conflict and how they can fix it. There's really nothing wrong with that, and most ads do it. But while I was out meditating out there, I came up with kind of a revelation. I want to share it with you. It's called the super stealth persuasion trick, and you can see that there's the smiley face again up in there, and it means to take note of this. I believe that only two of these things are necessary and powerful for copy. It creates a resistance in people, a wall of resistance almost immediately. Now, I'm going to ask everybody in the chat box to tell me which one of these out of the three, which one of these do you think is creating the resistance, and which one would you take away? So go ahead and put in the chat box. Is it conflict, or is it call to action? Which one would you take away? Joe says call to action. There's love. James says love. Greg says love. Conflict. John says conflict. Laura, call to action. He says call to action. These are great answers. Susan says call to action. John says call to action. Okay, these are great. Perdita says love. Conflict. Peter says love. Joy says conflict and call to action. Only supposed to be one of those, but that's fine, Joy. You guys are doing good. Okay, well, look. I want to tell you a story, and this is kind of what affected this decision for me. This is I saw this on a YouTube video, and you can't play videos on GoToWebinar because they get.
Oh, I love this one. I love this one.
This is called I do too. This is called the power of words, and you can find it on YouTube. And again, don't find it right now. You can wait till after the webinar. But there was this blind beggar that sit in this plaza every day, and he was begging for money. This is how he ate. He had no place to live, and he couldn't work because he's blind. Well, he sat there every day, and the people just kind of became numb with him sitting there, and they laughed and went on their day, and they just did whatever they did. And he had this sign that's out there, and it said, "I'm blind, please help." Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But people kept walking by, and they didn't really pay him any mind. And they just went about their day, and all of a sudden, one afternoon, a lady came by, and she'd passed him a number of times before, going back and forth to lunch. And she looked down at the sign, and she picked it up, and she started to write something on it. Now, he could smell her perfume, and he realized that she's been by there before. He even in the video feels her shoes and is able to know that it's her by the feel and texture of her shoes. And she's writing this sign. He can't tell. He has no idea what she's doing. And she's scribbling away, and he can hear her scribbling away. He has no idea what she's doing. Finally, she gets done writing. She puts the sign back down, and she goes off back to her work. All of a sudden, people start giving. And he can hear the money hitting the carpet, hitting the cardboard, and he's picking it up as fast as he can. People keep giving and giving and giving. They keep walking by. They keep giving all day they give. And they keep giving the rest of the afternoon, and he can hear the money hitting it, and he's grabbing it and putting it in his can. And my friends, he can tell by the weight of the can how well he's going to be able to eat today, and that he's going to have a place to sleep. Well, later that afternoon, about 5:30 or so, she gets off of work. She comes back through the plaza. He asks her, "What did you do to my sign?" And she said, "It's the same sign. I just used different words." Well, what were the words that she wrote that made all that difference? It's a beautiful day, and I can't see it. Now, I want to ask you guys again, from this story, which one would you now remove out of the three, the love, the conflict, or the call to action? Go ahead and write in the chat box and see if you understood exactly what took place here. Charles says call to action. Heidi says, yep, she was right, action. Erica says call to action. Absolutely. You guys are doing a great job out there. Call to action, John Smith, Greg, Erica, James, Joy. Everyone's getting it. I love that. John, Bela, Debbie, everyone. Love it. Absolutely right, my friends. His sign, as innocent as it seemed, had a conflict and a call to action. I'm blind, please help. People didn't give. Her sign had no call to action. It was love, it's a beautiful day, and conflict, and I can't see it. And people gave like crazy. Now, if there's no call to action, my friends, how in the world did they know what to do? How did they know what to do? The love conflict formula that I came up with is a call to action I realized created an immediate sales resistance for many people. Love brings resistance down, and a conflict makes them anxious to discover the solution. So in terms of your website, being pushy or salesy can turn people off. Talking about your personal story, which is love, talking about how you came up with your products, what kinds of things you went through, how you relate to your visitor, how you're just like them, what sets you apart from everyone else. That's the love. The conflict is identifying the pain of your visitor. Why are they there? And understanding what pain they have and leading them gently to a conversion such as a sale without being sales with a call to action. You lead your prospects to the proper choices, and you have to trust them to make the right decisions, and they will. When you see the story that took place with the beggar, you understand that just the power of words and leaving out a call to action, the people already knew what to do in their heart. Your visitors, if you connect to them on an emotional level, will understand what to do next, which will be buy your product, sign up for your courses, hire you as a coach or consultant, because they love you and they trust you. So the love conflict, you can see it. I've divided it up into red and purple here as a little formula. And these work with headlines, mail subject lines, tweets, Facebook updates, subheadlines with sales letters, the beginning part of a website content, just about anything that you can think of. Think about all the things we're writing all the time. As technology keeps changing and evolving with all new apps and mobile and all this stuff and all these social networks and plugins and Jesus, the one thing that stays constant is writing. From papyrus to wooden blocks to print press to the internet, words have stayed constant. And the emotional connection from the Magna Carta all the way to today's websites have an emotional impact on everyone. So it's important to understand this love conflict formula. So there's a few of these here I want to share with you. Your product can help people, but no one's buying it. If the real estate market is recovering, why will 48% of agents lose their job this year? I met the soulmate of my dreams, then he disappeared without a trace. Often a bridesmaid, never a bride. These things, when they're put in the proper place on a website, can generate enough angst and curiosity to keep reading without telling people what to do. You're so in love with your boyfriend, but he just left you for another woman. Now that's a conflict. I hate to say it. You're a great public speaker and you're not making any money. These are the things that catch people's attention, that they can relate to instantly, that they know that you understand their pain, and they're reading further and making purchases based on the idea that you are relating completely with their plight and pain. You're exercising and feeling great. I love this one. You're exercising and feeling great, but you're slowly dying inside. I would have to read that. As a matter of fact, I saw a commercial like that the other day, and I was completely compelled to sit through the commercial and understand, well, if I'm eating right, exercising, why am I dying? What does this person know that I don't know? And if they can capture me and understand that I may be feeling bad or having insomnia or some kind of relation to how I'm feeling, they're going to gain my trust and credibility, and I'm not going to go anywhere else to make a sale. So right now, I want you to take a moment, and I'm going to have a drink of water here, and I want you to try one of these yourself based on your business. I want you to write a love phrase and the corresponding conflict phrase. And I want you to write it in the chat box for me. Allow me to read these aloud to everyone. And the best two, I'm going to give away my autoresponder creation series, which is 10 streaming video templates, how to write autoresponders that drive people back in droves back to your website after they opt in. Long product title there, but basically it's a great autoresponder training series using most of the stuff that we've talked about tonight. Short, simple messages that drive people back. I'm going to give away 2 of these. So I want people to go ahead and try one out. Debbie said, while he's pulling in, I'm going to drink a water here. Excuse me. Debbie said, ooh, they're pouring in. You have an amazing dream, but your mind keeps talking you out of it with horrible negative thoughts. Yeah, that happens to me constantly, Debbie. I don't know how you pinned me down on that one. Peggy says, you can grow your business to the next level, but not if you try to do everything yourself. Very good. Barbara says, you want the best for your child, but do you know how to support your child's best learning? John says, I love my recent promotion, but now I don't know what to do. That's a good one, John. I like that. My first company initially grew rapidly and then stopped growing. That is a conflict. That's from Gary. Mrs. Bays says, if entrepreneurship is the key to success, why do most entrepreneurs fail? Okay, that one's going.
Oh, wow, I like
pretty
James.
much at the top. James, oh, I don't see it. What is it? What is it?
Second from the bottom on my screen. Third from the bottom on my screen now.
Go ahead and read that for me if you can.
Okay, you are a great leader, but no one is following.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I do see that one. That was great. Laura says, you've decided on Hawaii for your honeymoon, but you don't know which island would be best. I'm not sure if that's complete conflict there. It sounds like what we call a first world problem.
Yeah, there you go. First world problem.
Charles says, you just bought a new Air Jordans, but soon they will be old and worn out. You might want to try a little harder on that one, Charles. And the answer says, you've got nice looking website, so why isn't it making you any money? That's probably everyone here, including myself oftentimes. What Tom calls the pretty website syndrome. Joe says, you're making money and feeling great, but your taxes are killing you. I'm going to James down here as one of the winners. I loved yours, James. Okay, that was great. You said you're a great leader, but no one is following. That's very good. Heidi says you care so much for animals, but they are dying by the thousands each year. Wow, that's powerful. That is powerful. I love that. You guys are doing a great, great job here. Marlene says, you and your kids found a great Christmas tree, but Daddy has found another woman to spend the holidays with.
Oh, ow. That's a conflict.
Oh, oh, man. I got to give you the prize on that one. I'm sorry, Marlene.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's like a punch in the face, okay? And that's exactly what I'm talking here about, my friends, tonight. This is about waking people up, getting past content that doesn't make any kind of impact on anyone, and punching people in the face, but gently guiding them to the solutions and answers they're looking for. Again, I want to reiterate one more time that people aren't looking for information when they search. They're not looking for another 10,000-page ebook they're never going to read. They're looking for instant results that they can use right now to better their lives. Okay, that's why we're doing this. And in regard of that, when that happens, they buy things from us. They hire us as coaches, consultants, or compadres, or whatever you want to call it. We get the money. We get the money because we're helping people help themselves. And that's extremely important in terms of why we even have these businesses at all. So John says, you were just told Warren Buffett, you just told Warren Buffett you're giving half your billions, but you don't have it. I'd try another one on that one, John. That's funny, though. The telesummit would be great for your business, but you'll never get it right on your own. That's good. You know, think about your business and what it is, the pain that your visitor is looking for. Identify that. First, the love identifies why they're important, and then you identify their pain, and the next thing you know, they're looking for the solution on their own. And John says, this is the seed giving and celebration. Too bad our vest with PTSD can't enjoy it. I'm not sure what that means. Try to avoid the jargon when you do that, and make sure that you speak in clearly or in your own voice as part of that. My blog is on betrayal. Marlene, that's nice. Oh, okay, I got you. Your business is about betrayal. Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. And you know what? I like yours, Marlene, because you tied it into the holiday, which is extremely important because it's on people's minds. It's another thing that you want to keep in mind that you're trying to tie things in. John reiterates that, okay, this is a season of giving and celebration. He says, too bad we can't enjoy it with our post-traumatic stress disorder. I gotcha. Erica says, you try to stay on budget, then there's always one more month of money. There's always more months than money, she says. Okay, that's true. That's what I take out of all this, my friends, is that you understand this love conflict. That was great. These were fantastic. I loved reading it. Peggy says, you know exactly what to do, but you can't do it all yourself. You guys get it. You really do. This is fantastic. So I'm glad that this formula that I sat in the woods and meditated upon only wasn't a revelation just to me. Okay. I'm glad it makes sense. Okay. And I do want to ask you, did I keep my promise tonight? I know it's getting late and we got to get going here. I want to ask you, and I want you to put yes in the chat box if you enjoyed this evening and everything. Did I tell you what Google wants to see in website content with sharing and the commenting and the bounce rate and all that? Did I show you how a call to action creates sales resistance? Remember I did with the love conflict and the beggar and all that? How love and conflict can be persuasive. I know that I kept my promise on that because you guys gave me some of the best answers I've ever had yet on this webinar, and I've done this dozens of times, and these were some of the best ones. Also, increase your customer-centered words. Did I show you the wee calculator and how you can use that? And I know you're going to go to that tonight and use that and see how see if you're talking about yourself too much. It's quite the revelation. And also, did I keep my promise in showing you that what benefits are most important, that they're not the ones we typically think of when we're writing for the web, that there are other ones out there that really mean more to us. We just don't express them that much. Everyone's saying it's been excellent. Thank you. Great webinar. Truly unique. Yes, this was great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I want to add, please put yes in the chat box. Was I cute and funny? Look at that face. How can you not love that? Was I cute and funny? A very cute, Heidi says. Can I have your number, please? Thank you. Chris says, can you go over that calculator again, please? Oh, yeah, I'll show you that in just a minute during our Q&A because you may have missed that. Joyce says, oh, but of course you're cute. Donald says, oh, yeah, that is. How can you deny that beautiful face? All right, look, I could have talked on all night. Jeff knows me. I'm a very long-winded individual. I never get to the point in the time that I should. I could have talked all night about this stuff because there's so much more to know. Like what? Well, first off, how to talk in a conversational tone. That's something we didn't get. It's very important we didn't cover tonight. How to create and develop your persona. Each one of us has a unique kind of way of expressing our persona out there as people. Jeff's the article marketing king, and everyone's got like a title they hold up. How do we develop those? Also, how do we frame ourselves as an expert? We can talk about ourselves all we want, but how do we get someone else to talk about us and create expert status in the eyes of those people who follow other experts? Very true there. Also, how do you lead your visitors step by step to results? What I really like is what's called results in advance, and I learned that from Frank Kern. And people that come to your website and take away immediately usable things that they can use right now will come back again and again, and they will go nowhere else, and they will buy from you over and over as long as you offer them information and solutions that work right now. So if you hide everything and you have to sell everything and you just tease people, it wears them out. Also, videos everywhere. And Jeff uses video, I use video, Tom, all the big people use video. But what kind of scripts can you write? Do you know that the stealth emotional content can be put in video scripts in 1.5 minutes or less and implement most of the formulas I showed you tonight? Also, how do you build followers and friends on your social networking by using these same strategies? Well, here's the solution in case you were wondering how you wanted to do all that. I have what's called the Stealth Persuasion Workshop, and this webinar was sponsored tonight by the Stealth Persuasion Workshop. And it's 12 exclusive webinar workshop recordings that I recorded. And it was a live event that I held for 12 weeks. And each night there was a select group of people that paid a ton of money to get on there in this live webinar, and they were 2 hours each. So I recorded them all, and they were about all these different topics: article, blogging, content strategies. I talked about how to create a product launch using stealth persuasion, crafting perfect sales letters. That's huge. How to create social proof, how to create a big following on each in one of your websites so people know that they're not the only ones that have ever been there. How to get characters to sell for you. You saw how I used John and Lisa, these characters in my copy to help increase conversions. How can you use a character for yourself to promote your services and your products? How do you use your situations and your stories, your unique take on life and the things that you've learned to brand yourself in your business? How would you do that? Also, I talked about crafting powerful teleclasses and webinar closes, some of which you're seeing right now, which is really kind of cool. Powerful, stealthy closes, the invisible close, as Lisa Sasevich calls it, very important, and I had a workshop on that. Then, of course, I talked about putting stealth persuasion in text, polls, comments, Facebook, tweets, all sorts of things. And so these were 12 workshop recordings that equaled 24 hours of recordings, including the Q&As, because they were about 2 hours each, for 12 weeks. And also included in the workshops was my brand new 160-page ebook on stealth persuasion, fanatically turning your visitors into customers that love you. Okay, and then I also have this really great, and I love this. This is over-the-shoulder training videos, and I learned this from yours truly, Jeff, my host, gracious host tonight, that watching these screen capture videos and getting to sit down and have somebody point out exactly how they wrote sales letters, crafted opt-ins, created email promotions, how they write emails, all the stuff using emotional tactics is extremely important. It's 3 hours of over-the-shoulder training videos. I dissect some of the best sales letters written by anyone in the world there, and I show you how I did it. And I want you to also want to say that with Tom Antion, he let me write most of his sales letters for the last 4 years. And most of those sales letters made him almost $1 million. And I wrote most of them, and you probably bought something from one of the sales letters, and he didn't even know I wrote it. So Tom's really proud of me, and that was a huge learning experience. Speaking of the sales letters and Tom, I've got swipe files from the masters, people I respect, big names out there like Jeff Herring and Tom Antion, Frank Kern and myself and some other people, and I collected them all. All these years I've been collecting these swipe files and these email blasts that people send. You may delete them or whatever, but I was smart, and I copy and pasted them into a file. So I got this giant folder of swipe files, and they're all for you tonight too. And so that's all the webinar recordings here, the over-the-shoulder training videos, the Stealth Persuasion ebook, and all the swipe files. That's $730 worth of stuff. You see the big money bags right there that I'm offering you tonight for $97. That's it. And it's for 2 payments of $50. And that's over at expertwebwriting.com/Herring, which is Jeff's last name, in case you don't remember.
Just like the fish.
Here's 2 people that I worked with just recently. Richard said, he was great. If you charge twice the price for your program, I'd buy and tell others to buy. You have been outstanding responding to emails and questions, and that is worth everything. Absolutely. Thank you, Richard. And I did charge your credit card twice. Thank you. I'm just kidding. And Sonia says, thank you so much. You're the best. I can't wait to work together. Thank you, Sonia. She's been great. Huge website full of content. It was so much fun to work with her. And the great Joanne Dahlketter says, you're amazing, Colin. Loving your content tonight.
Hey, Joanne.
Joanne. Oh, okay. We're moving on anyway. Thanks, Joanne. Here it is, the super bonus. This is what's really worth everything here. If you buy this tonight for the $97.
Holy smokes.
I will give you a one-on-one content consulting, critique, and editing of your website pages, your sales letter, an opt-in, an email promotion, direct mail, video scripts, ads that you're trying to put on Facebook, any product launches, autoresponders, anything. Do not do this by yourself. Go ahead and implement all the things that you learn in the Stealth Persuasion program, but do not release the copy. And if you're worried about embarrassing yourself, you don't have to worry about it anymore. I will look over it as your one-on-one personal virtual editor for absolutely free, along with this promotion tonight. That's a $300
That's a crazy
bonus.
good bonus.
Also, I'll have this for the first 25 people, and that's not some kind of sneaky urgency technique. I'm trying to be transparent here. When I wait, I sell these, people get on here, and then I have to wait for all the content, and I have to sort through the content and rewrite the content and talk to you on the phone. It's a lot of time invested. So I can only
things like that take a lot of time.
It does, and I can only take 25 people on this super bonus, so you really want to jump on this. So it's a one-on-one content critique with me. So I'll critique and help you edit and rewrite anything that you want me to as a part of this program. So now you get all the webinar recordings, the 3 hours worth of training videos, the Stealth Persuasion ebook, the beautiful swipe files from the masters, and the personal one-on-one editing time with me. $1,000 worth of my time and training for $97, or 2 payments of $50 over at expertwebwriting.com/herring. Now, I just want to say that I'm not doing, I already make a lot of money doing this. Here's what I'm trying to work towards for 2014. I have a lot of clients. I have my own personal coaching. I'm always writing people's content. But what really matters to me for the next year is helping you help other people. My son recently moved away to go to college, and he used to listen to everything I said. And he had a problem, he came to me, and I always had the answer. And now that he's gone, he doesn't call, he doesn't ask me any questions anymore. He's too busy out living life. And when he has a problem, he searches on the internet for it. Imagine that. He's 19 years old, okay? He searches on the internet to find the answers to his problems. He doesn't call good old dad anymore. Well, who is out there on the internet? There's so much out there I do and do not want him to know about. How do I know what things are right? How do I know what things are going to serve him? For us tonight, it's my goal and my mission to help you create the best content and the best businesses that help real people as much as possible, in case my son comes to you one day for you to help him with one of his problems. I want him to understand that you understand him, that you understand his pain, and you're offering the real solutions. And I want your website to come up on top of the search engine, so that's the one he finds with the new rules of search that we went over earlier. So if you have great content that's emotional and persuasive, that people love, people share, and people comment, then you will be behind the search engines, and my child is now in your hands because he won't call me anymore. And as a parent, that's fine, but it's now I've moved on to my mission of creating an internet where helping people take center stage once again. Getting away from the hype, getting away from the crap, getting away from the ads, getting away from the offensive pop-ups, and having sites that really, truly help people move on. That is not just my mission, but I know it's yours as well, my friends. So, so take advantage of this expertwebwriting.com/herring, the Stealth Persuasion Workshop. Get all that in my own one-on-one editing critique with you. It can be on the phone. It can be via Skype, however you feel most comfortable. But I want to help you help other people. $97, a small investment for that amount of time and investment. So we want to start the Q&A before it gets any later with Jeff. So
yeah,
Jeff,
as you guys put in your questions, I just want to jump in and say, Colin, thanks for not only for a great webinar, but what a crazy good deal. Folks, expertwebwriting.com/herring. Go get this stuff. My goodness. I mean, I
appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at giving good deals, but this is amazing to me. So go for it, guys. Debbie says she's in. Welcome aboard, Debbie.
Thank you.
Can't check out with PayPal and TwoPay, says Chris.
Oh no, the PayPal it won't. I don't have the recurring on there, so but you can go through the. You can go through the TwoPay, and then I just have to use your credit card if you can. So yeah, you can't take the payments on the PayPal option on the TwoPay. Sorry about that.
Donald's in. Welcome aboard,
Thank you. I
Donald.
appreciate that. Ruth says, any chance for a replay? I worked late and missed the first part. Well, that was the best part. Ruth, what happened to you? Of course, there's a replay. I'll be
Do you
sending
have a
this out
note,
in the
Ruth?
morning. I've got you covered, everyone out there. Barbara says, if you need another testimonial, I can say that you're an incredible mentor. Oh, thank you, Barbara. She's the
Awesome.
1-2-3 kindergarten lady. And I've been helping her craft why it's important to teach your kids to read. And she talked about on her website, just real quickly, she talked about on her website that, reading is important, and your kids need to be ready for kindergarten, or they'll have, a lack of social skills and whatnot. Everybody knows that. But her and I together, I wanted to identify something more shocking, something that really is a reality for parents that they may face that they don't know they're facing. And her and I found research that kids with a small vocabulary or who don't learn to read by kindergarten have like a 90% chance of ending up in prison. And we started putting that kind of language in her autoresponders and in her website just to wake people up. And it's true. It's not like we're saying anything that isn't true. Attention. We're just telling things that people need to hear. So what's the email address to contact? My email address is videopower@live.com. Videopower@live.com. As a matter of fact, I'm going to type that in the box here, in the chat box, and everybody will be able to see it. If you have any questions or that you don't get to tonight, or you need to ask any other questions before you make a purchase, I'd be glad to answer that. I answer all emails. Trust me, I'm one of the few people that do that. And so get your other questions. Chris says, can you go over the first gift you mentioned? What was that calculator? Absolutely. I'm going to show it to you real quick. Right here, this is the WeWe calculator, and it's at futurenow.inc.com/wewee.htm. And it'll be in the recording and also give you the slides. You can download the slides, and you'll be able to see the address to this. And what this does is you paste in any kind of content like we did here. Show you exactly what we did. I pasted in this content from an email that I sent, and you click this test your WeWe score, and it shows you the percentage of customer-focused words, how much you talk about your customer as opposed to talking about yourself. So, like I said, the last time I went on a date and talked about myself too much, it didn't go over too well. How's that going over with your website? I mean, take a look at all the stuff that you write and use the calculator before you send anything out. And you'll be amazed. You won't even know that you did it. And then you'll go, oh my God, I got to go back and change it. It's an eye-opening thing. So if you have any other questions, Laura says she's in. Looking forward to working with you. Thank you, Laura. Remember, guys, this is a fantastic opportunity to work, to learn all this stuff. All those videos are real easy, and they're all broken into different topics. So if you're working on something right now, you get them all right now, and you get them all forever, but you can actually choose how to write fiction for your story, for your website, or how to create your storytelling for your website. Or you can jump right to the webinar pitches and closes. If you're having a webinar coming up next week, you can go back and edit the slides. I will help you edit anything that you write. Think about how much words we write, Jeff, especially. I mean, all the blog posts, all the ads, all the articles that,
it's all words, man.
Billions of articles that Jeff has written. He must be like sitting at the calculator or at the computer just constantly. His fingers are probably like swollen up to like grapes, just from writing so much. I wish I could even write as much as Jeff. I don't even know how he found the time to write that many articles, go out and speak, have all these webinars, and make all this money at the same time, and be such a nice guy without going insane. I never figured that out.
What a kind thing to say.
Well, it's a very, very good time management there, Jeff. So
it's nice to have a lot of energy.
Yeah, it must be nice. But writing is everywhere. And then we write on our Facebook, and then we write all these millions of tweets. And, there's an opportunity here to use the love conflict formula. There's an opportunity to use stealth persuasion and emotional, heart-centered content to attract the visitor, raise our sites up to the top of the search engines, identify the pain of our visitor, know exactly why they're there, what they're looking for, and offer them the solution that really changes their life. If you change a life, they won't go anywhere else. Why would they want to start the search all over again taking out the pop-up boxes, weeding through all the hypey ads if they already know that you can help them. This is how we build a huge following. This is how we build fans of people that love us. There's a difference between most people who make money and people who work with Jeff. And here's the difference. Most people out there, they send out these emails, they sell these apps, make $500 a day right now, and then you never hear from them again. The people that work with Jeff are in love with him. Trust me. They go, "I love you, Jeff," when they write in emails. That's how their signature is in their email. "I love you." Why do they love Jeff? Because he's there for them. He gives them results that really work, and he gives them results that work before they ever even buy anything. He builds not just fans and followers and customers. He builds friends and family and community. Very, very specific thing I learned from him about that. I approached it in the early days of just strictly numbers. If you had a list of 10,000 people, you're going to make $3,000 with an email. Jeff taught me the value of community and friends and family on the internet and building people that truly love him. And that has made the difference. You know why? Because they buy every single thing that he does, and they don't want to go anywhere else. And this is what I want to do for you tonight with this program. So I just wanted to throw that out there again. Long-winded, I know.
Dude, that was well said. I bet you we're going to get a flood of people coming in now. Folks, I mean, really, $97 or 2 payments of $50, you know, you're going to spend that this weekend on entertainment. Why not invest it in something that's going to allow you a whole lot better entertainment in the future when you learn to use words, and Gary is on board. Way to go, Gary. In this way. I love this stuff. So expertwebwriting.com/Herring. Highest recommendation, because I know Colin and I know his stuff, and you know, we've seen it tonight. And gosh, if you're not on board, how come? I mean, really. So one more time, expertwebwriting.com/Herring. Just like the fish. Any more questions? Going once. Donald's amazed at how inexpensive it is. I was expecting several times that. Well, we can charge you more, Donald, if you want. But we won't. Going twice. Colin, may I have the link to your bonus video again, please, says Susan.
Oh, where was that bonus video? That was after the sign-up registration. So I'll email that everyone. I'll email that bonus video out to all the people during the replay.
James is in. So is
I will be there. Thank you. I'm in, James. Ooh, thank you. Chris says, "Was there another gift?" Chris, what are you begging, man? I mean, what's going on? Do you really want?
I think so.
Do you really want the gift? Do you really want it? Do you really want? I'll give it to you, man. It's the holidays, okay? I'm feeling very, very frisky here. Chris C. That's all you see. That's all I see there. Chris C. Did not your last name on there. Good going. I'm going to give you the autoresponder training for free, $50 program for free, because you're going to love it. That's why I want to give it to you, because you'll love it. Not because I'm trying to, you know, I'm not getting anything out of it. I know you'll love it, Chris, and you were, so that's cool, and I appreciate that. You said there was. I thought, oh yeah, well, see, Chris knows how to act for stuff. I can relate to that. Also, I want to say real quick, everyone, that even if you don't have a website yet, which is a lot of my clients, that's perfect, because why start writing a bunch of stuff and have to go back and rewrite it? If you have a lot of content, that's fine. I can help you, and this will work. If you don't even have a website yet and you're rebuilding one, perfect. It's even better. Just want to throw that out there.
Do it the right way from the beginning.
Absolutely. Bala says, "I like your webinar." Well, I like you too, and I like everyone here, and I want to reiterate again, I appreciate the time that you spent. I appreciate Jeff giving me this opportunity. I love this man. I look up to him. I've always looked up to him. I want to be like him. He's my hero, and he throws me a bone like this, and I'm really happy about that, and I respect his community above almost anyone else's. And I respect your time for being here, and I wanted to respect your time with stuff that you can use. I know you could have been out there seeing friends and family and going out to dinner and watching football, which is starting in 10 minutes, so I got to get going. And so I appreciate your time tonight as well. I really do. And so with me, again, with this, I will respect your time by giving you the most that you've ever gotten for your dollar out of any program that you've ever done yet. That's my promise, and I will be here for you.
He says you had perfect timing, Colin. So that's
perfect.
And now
Thank
listen,
you.
Chris, the guy just gave you a gift. You got to come on board if you haven't already. And folks, really, this is.
I'm in. Chris says he's in. All right. Well, that worked really good, Jeff. You and your hypnotic.
All right. Good.
All right. Do you have any questions, guys? Evidently, you don't have too many questions about this. You know why? Because the webinar was so fantastic that I answered every single question that you possibly could think of. But if you don't, we're gonna get out of here because we're gonna respect everyone's time and football's coming up. So what we're gonna do tonight, if you have any questions, write me at videopower@live.com and I will answer each and every one of your questions tonight. And if you bought the program and you're in, I will write you a personal note tonight to thank you and tell you how we begin so we can get moving on this. It isn't some download thing and you never see me again.
Watching football too, huh?
Oh, I can watch football and write at the same time. Really good at that.
Exactly. I'm
rarely eligible to get the gift.
My laptop.
Oh well, we're up to we can get the bonus for the first 25 people. So far, I think we're just about getting close to that. So if you're sitting on the fence, you want to hurry up. We need to get going. Yeah. I know Jeff. It's past his bedtime, folks. I know him.
Colin, why don't you leave this site up for about 15 minutes?
Okay.
So people can start ordering because it takes a while. And listen, brother. I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate the good content you give my people. I can always have you on, sit back, and just relax because I know you're going to give good stuff. And so once again, I appreciate it. Enjoy the game. And folks, two things as we sign off here. Go get this stuff at expertwebwriting.com/Herring. And like Colin said, we're approaching the 25. So if you want that extra gift, do it now. Get in. And as always, go use this stuff. Thank you, Colin, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you, bud. I really appreciate it. Thank you.